Thank you for joining me at the Atmel booth at the ESC 2010 in Silicon Valley. My name is Steve Berry, the Marketing Director for Touch Technology Products at Atmel, and this presentation that I'm going to give is on specifically our QTouch library solution, so the ability to integrate touch into our general purpose microcontroller families. So you see here a chart of our products, our product tree of our QTouch families. And you see that on the left-hand side are our QTouch devices. And we have two classes of QTouch devices. One is our application-specific device, which is a self-contained, ready-to-use device that does not require any programming. While it is very convenient, does not require a software resource, it also has limited flexibility. So for designs where you need greater flexibility and you want to integrate multiple functions together, we have this QTouch library, which is a free software library tool that enables you to implement touch in our microcontroller, in Atmel's microcontroller families. Now QTouch is a technology that's Atmel's patented technology that supports buttons, sliders, wheels, proximity sensors, touchpads. So typically those interfaces that are implemented on a printed circuit board. And I contrast that with the touchscreen. And then finally, Atmel has really two technologies that we support in our device families. We have our QTouch technology, which is a self-capacitance sensing technology, and then QMatrix, which is a mutual capacitance technology that enables you to get more pin efficiency of the I/O in your device. Obviously, each method has its own advantages. So the QTouch library, the concept is that you would have your custom code for your typical general purpose microcontroller application, which could be sensing analog sensors, you could be controlling motors, be controlling LEDs or a display. And you traditionally would compile that using your normal method or normal means. Now, in parallel to that, you could link in one of the QTouch libraries that supports the device that you want to use, and using a common API, so an API that's common to all of our device families, you can add this touch functionality. So add buttons or sliders or wheels to your system, and then you simply, that's linked into your code, and then you compile your final application, and you're done. So pretty simple concept, and we also have some configurability that we add to the device at runtime. We can configure the I/O as well. So as I mentioned before, it's a free software library available on our website that you can download, along with our other tools. Other software tools are also free to download. And as I mentioned, any one of our AVR devices are supported today. So our 8-bit, Tiny, Mega, and X Mega devices, as well as our 32-bit UC3, that's our 32-bit AVR device, are supported. And you can see we support up to 64 channels, touch channels in that device, depending upon the size or the number of I/O. Obviously, you're adding touch capability to your device. So again, integrating touch with other functionalities. And one of the greatest benefits is that you have the ability now with this fully programmable device to modify, adjust, add features right up until production time. So it makes for a very flexible platform. So an example might be, again, you have your host application with your other functions, and let's say you have a design that requires a wheel, a slider, and some buttons. So in this case, we're able to implement a wheel with very high resolution with just 3 electrodes. Similarly, we have a linear slider where you can also implement high resolution along a linear slider using 3 electrodes as well. And then we have single channels for each of the buttons. So this is a simple implementation of a QTouch design that you could implement with again, any one of our AVR devices. So as I mentioned before, we support touch within any of our AVR devices, and we're also expanding that. So you can see today, depending upon whether you need self-capacitance or mutual capacitance technology. We support the tiny, the mega, the X mega devices, as well as the UC3, that's our 32-bit AVR device. So those are supported today. We're adding the ARM in the future. So this quarter, we're adding the Cortex M3, and then we'll be adding the rest of the ARM7 and ARM9 devices later in the year. So that's an exciting advancement for the QTouch library and adding greater flexibility to the overall solutions portfolio.